gotta know that this ain't living, but we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever. I can't believe myself. I never thought that this would be our end, but it's nothing new. And my lover's honesty, I can push it back down if I have to, if you want me to, 'cause we can run. Stars that call all for you. So tell me now, what's left to lose if we run? Forever.
Channel edited. Channel edited.
Look into my eyes and show me your adventures I haven't seen. Taking all the life, it hits the spot. Walking on fantasy. So take me, baby, take me to a state of mind
Storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Microphone muted.
Hello everybody and welcome to week 7 day 2 of the EUS 5v5 house party, and this isn't a Premier League game I have for you today, but I do have a very good game between the Face Rollers and Mindcool. Face Rollers be taking over the blue side, Mindcool is on the right, and you might be wondering who these two teams are if you haven't seen the Reddit post, but these two teams are two teams in the Conference League who are undefeated, apart from when they don't have their full rosters and stuff, you know what I mean? But when they're full rosters, they are undefeated. With me casting this amazing game is Void. How are you doing, man?
I am excellent. I'm actually really excited about this game. It's always a pleasure to see two undefeated teams go up against each other during what is the mid part of the season.
7 weeks in, leave the season only the last 10 weeks. As a conference player, I'm a bit salty. I mean, my team's obviously better than these guys, but that doesn't matter here. Now,
of course, it's only RNG.
We do have 5 of the 6 bands coming in. Jinx, Tom, Kenji, and Gangplank coming in for Face Rollers, and Twisted Fate and Irelia so far for Mindcool. Kindred going to be the last band.
Yeah, we see a Kindred ban. Kindred has been re-enabled to play in the House Party 5v5, and since the release of Kindred, I have seen a lot of really good ways of utilizing Kindred, both as a strong marksman-style jungler and an aggressive counter jungler that waits in your bush, then kites you out if you think you can actually defeat them.
Kindred's one of those champions that I really hate because they're such a strong champion, but I have no idea how to use them. But in the right hands, Kindred is devastating. The Jinx, one of the strongest AD carries in my opinion, if not the strongest AD carry at the moment, unless you include Kindred. Tom Kench just generally annoying, stops a lot of plays. But we do see a Shen pick coming out very quickly.
Shen has been seen as a really contested pick for obvious reasons. The Stand United is extremely strong, global presence, is an amazing tank, and has a line like AoE taunt, which if utilized properly could catch 2 or more people, which is basically a one team fight.
Mindcool wasting no time in their picks. They've gone straight for the power combo. The Elise in the jungle, known as one of the strongest junglers right now, up there with Gragas and Rek'Sai, and the Darius in the top lane, known for being that strong pentadunker who will just sit, and late game he will be a monster if he is given enough resources.
Yeah, we already know that Darius and Elise are both extremely strong champions. Elise in most stages of the game is good. Early game she is amazing, and because you start building more tanky towards the mid to late game, you still have a lot of utility with the cocoon and still a decent amount of damage to the carries.
Definitely. And one thing I am seeing coming in from Face Roller's team is they've just picked up a Sejuani and Fresh, and I'm seeing no damage on that side yet. They still have yet to pick their AD carry and their mid laner, but if one of those two falls behind early, their comp becomes a 1-threat composition, which is going to be really scary and puts a lot of pressure on both Mimicry and Dagon for this early and mid game. But once again, we see Mindcool with these very fast-paced picks, the Morgana and the Tristana, and I'm not sure if this Morgana is going to go mid or support. Can go mid. Well,
this is pretty interesting actually. Picking away the Tristana is quite good because this looks like a sort of hyper carry comp on the side of face rollers, yeah. And picking Lucian into that comp, it's interesting. We have seen a slight variation of Lucian where he's sort of played as a hyper carry, but I don't know, if you're going to pick a hyper carry, pick Jinx or Tristana, or maybe possibly even a Vayne, even though she was slightly nerfed.
But Jinx is banned. Tristana's picked.
Yeah, they banned the Jinx, and if you're going with hyper carry comp, I don't understand why you would ban the Jinx. Like, I like to see the Lucian. I'm a Lucian main. I love it, but I really wouldn't want to see him in this comp. I feel like if they don't even have to set Lucian far behind, they just have to sort of survive the early game, and yeah, I really don't the comp. I'm just going to be flat out honest.
as annoying as it is, do you remember when I said if somebody falls behind really early, it becomes a one-threat comp? I feel like with this Lulu pick, it's already become a one-threat comp. Lulu is not going to be putting out massive damage in the late game, with her ultimate just being a little bit of a boost in health. She can heal someone, she can whimsy someone, but her damaging spells are pretty much reduced to her Q, I believe, and she has a whimsy, and she won't be putting out massive damage, and Base Roller's team comp is essentially going to end up being a Lucian comp, and that's why I feel like Mindcool, they're going to put a lot of pressure down this bot lane, and with this Elise, with this Darius with teleport, with the Orianna with teleport, in an instant there can be 5 people bot lane, and that Lucian has 1 escape. You blow that, you're screwed.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a really difficult game with this comp for face rollers. Like, maybe it looks like a Juggernaut comp, the Protect
It's a
AD carry
Jug
comp.
Illusion.
Yeah, the Juggerlution, which sounds so. I don't know. Like, I want to be amazed by this. I want to see this work out and be the most amazing thing ever. A sort of break the meta comp where you pick an AD caster lane bully and use it as a hyper carry. I would like to see that, but it just looks like the entire comp will fall apart. Because on the side of Mindcool, we see Tristana as an excellent hyper carry that will outscale the Lucian eventually.
Yeah.
Orianna that can both play defensive against the Lulu and put on some shields to the Tristana, and also has a lot of damage, and the shockwave can be amazing. Darius brings a lot of damage to the fight. It just...
I would have preferred if they are going to go with this Protect AD carry comp where it is a one-threat composition. I feel like a fresh, more suited would have been a Janna here, because then you can get the Darius away from him, you can get the Elite Spider form away from him, you can like basically negate the Morgana rolls by getting Care away, you can increase his attack damage. Unless High Arm Feeding has a lot more practice on Fresh, I would have preferred to see a Janna in this comp.
Yeah, probably the Janna would probably be better. Because they did pick the Morgana, they have that black shield. With Janna you have the shield and the bonus AD, which helps Lucian a lot because of his passive and the excellent scaling on his Q and his ult.
I would have much preferred to see the Orianna on the side of Face Roller.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like even in the sort of Protect the AD carry comp, you still need a semi-utility mid laner, somebody who can bring the damage but also bring the protect part of the Protect the carry.
But I feel like putting an Orianna in there would have changed the comp entirely to a massively teamfight focused comp. You've got the Sejuani. Sejuani can ult, rush in with her headbutt. Orianna ults on top of that. You've got the Shen taunting, and then you've got the Lucian hitting away at the backline along with the Orianna damage. And I feel like that would have been a much better comp, but the Lulu doesn't really fit this comp, especially because she's taken a barrier. She doesn't have this global teleport presence, whereas the Orianna does. She's gonna be able to TP down to the spot lane, make plays in the early minutes, and I just, from picks and some of the spells, I'm giving this game to Mindcool. It's going to be an uphill struggle for Face Roller, in my opinion. It's going to be very difficult.
Like I said, I want to see them succeed, but because of the Lucian pick, but that is the exact reason why I think they won't.
Yeah.
Which is really an identity crisis I am having with it. Like, if they picked the Kog'Maw, yeah, the lane would be extremely hard to play. They would probably barely survive it if they could survive it at all. But then again, you said if they picked the Orianna and the Kog'Maw, they would have a team fight comp that would actually be pretty good, with Sejuani rushing in with her ult and her Q along with the Orianna shockwave, and then you have the Kog'Maw who doesn't need to get all that close to put out amazing amounts of damage because of the W. It's... I don't... We just have to see. There is nothing more we can say about it. We just have to see how the Lucian fares in a situation where he's supposed to be the hyper carry.
It's going to be really interesting. So we are on to the Rift, guys. Game 1 between Face Rollers and Mindcool. Face Rollers on the blue side once again. Mindcool gonna be on the right side. Want to see some hype in the chat if you're watching on Twitch or watching the VODs on YouTube? Leave a comment down below, leave a like. We see some pretty cool skins here. The Project Illusion skin definitely gonna be my favorite one, but you do have that pretty Duncan Darius skin, Championship Fresh as well. So it looks like it's going to be pretty standard buys here for the beginning of the game. Lulu hasn't spec'd 9 into that utility tree, which probably means she's spec'd 9 into the defensive tree. So we'll be a bit tankier in lane, looking to possibly trade a bit more in the lane. Relic Shield start for the Fresh, Spell Brief for the Morgana, nothing really too interesting.
Yeah, it looks like they're just placing some defensive wards, not going to try anything interesting on the side of the Mindcool. Face Roller is just standing in those bushes. Also, it looks just like a standard level 1. It might actually be a solo start with the junglers, not actually doing the double jungling, which is interesting.
Conference. That's if it's for the Premier League, where they actually know what they're doing. Down here in Conference, we don't know what we're doing. We stick with the normal meta that's been around for 2 years.
Yeah, well, he will have the advantage after the PB, since the Machete now gives bonus XP, meaning that you no longer get level 2 when double jungling.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you foresaw this. That
Exactly.
is the whole point. Yeah.
Down here in the Conference, we're actually Genja time loading is up. We know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, the third item Rand wins on the AD carries. I'm loading it up.
I think you mean it's the third item Frozen Mallet.
Oh yeah, the Frozen Mallet Caitlyn. Layers upon layers of cancer.
Alright, it's gonna be pretty standard jungle starts. Both jungles gonna be starting on the bot side of the jungle. Getting a little bit of a leash. Both will head back to lane. So Sejuani
Darius
does
actually
get...
doing the camp level 1.
Yeah, he can do it with his Q.
Yeah.
So Sejuani actually does get quite low in the jungle, in my experience, trying to jungle her. Like, her first clear isn't great. She won't be able to gank really level 3. Especially since it will be against a Darius she'll be trying to look against. That she takes a really weird jungle route. But looks like Mindcool are going to be getting the push advantage in this bot lane. We'll probably be hitting level 2 there first. Oriana just doing a bit of damage to Lulu in the mid lane.
Yeah, doing some small trades left and right. It looks like actually the Lucian Fresh are getting pushed in, which is not what you would want in such aggressive laners.
Look how far this Elise is ahead of the Sejuani. Elise is already like about halfway through her second buff, and Sejuani is only on her way. Well, now she started Wolves, but she was only on her way to her second buff. This Elise is going to be clearing the jungle so much faster.
Yeah, and she is on full HP and can look for a gank if she wants to.
Just looking for Scuttle.
Yeah, or she can take the Scuttle. Scuttle also very important.
We'll spot the Sejuani if Sejuani goes to gank the Darius.
Interestingly enough,
But at least,
she can
at least
actually
she's
she's going
invading.
in.
Yeah, but the Sheriff from the Wolf will spot her. But is she actually starting? No, she didn't start blue buff. She did start it. She has started it, but Wolf Spirit gonna spot it out from Smiting Wolf. Sejuani's actually gonna be forced to back.
Backing, yeah.
Who's scared of the Elise? But Elise has wasted so much time there. But Darius is gonna come down because Darius is pushed in the Shen. And now the Darius Elise combo that we talked so much about in Champions Select and how they're so strong, they're going to be able to take this blue buff. And that they will actually give it over to Darius. And this is going to be a tough matchup for Shen.
Yeah. Like, Darius generally doesn't have a lot of mana problems, but the cooldown reduction... Oh, Shen might be dead.
Yeah. See what I mean? This is a very...
Oh, the fail.
Taunt.
Manages to get away without expending
Oriana
flash.
is following up into the mid lane here. It will be a 2v2 fight. The Elise is going to repel, but here is a Shen. Darius is a few seconds away. Will there be anything from it? The Darius will flash over the wall trying to find the Shen. The Shen is on very low health, but maybe this is one he actually ends up falling down. Both will flash over the wall to their tower for safety. And the Lulu just trying to get a bit of damage onto the Fleece on the way out. Bot lane still farming.
Yeah, both of them barely survived, the Shen and the Sejuani, and the Shen is still in lane getting Probably just wants to get the cannon. It's hard to resist the cannon minion. Plus, he does have TP, unlike the Darius, because the Darius did the level 1 camp. But we see Elise counter jungling now because she knows that Sejuani can't do anything about it.
Yeah. This is what I mean about Sejuani is a very slow clearing jungler. She will have low health and she can't clear it too fast because low levels her damage isn't too high.
Yeah, and Elise not taking the full camp, actually doing the counter jungling route where she just wants to leave the small camps up so that they don't respawn.
Gonna be a massive setback for the Sejuani, so don't expect her to reach level 6 anytime too soon. Generally junglers will aim for level 6 around 8 minutes. I'm expecting Sejuani to hit it about 9 to 10, which will be a big factor once it comes to this early dragon fights, because they won't have that massive Sejuani ultimate for them.
Yeah, and even with all the action and the expended summoners, it's still 0-0. First blood has not been drawn yet.
The Fresh Hook will not land in the bot lane. Not any chance of a kill in that lane.
Yeah, funnily enough, the bot lane is not the volatile one as you would expect. Oh, here comes the Elise.
You spoke too soon, because it will be a flash binding from the Morgana. It will be everybody going down onto this Lucian. Lucian will use the flash and the heal, but will not be enough. A final auto attack from Tristana will get it through. The Tristana will use the heal to try and get away. Will live on about 250 health. Does use the potion, and that will be a very clean gank. Does blow both of the Morgana summoners to try and get in there, but that will be the Lucian down and trying to walk back to lane now.
Well, the caster curse strikes again with the Lucian dying for the first blood, just as I said, nothing happening. Anyways, it was like a small thing. It was a nice play by the Fresh, managing to flay during the rocket jump to deny it. However, Sejuani Fresh don't have any damage to them, especially when Fresh is going exhaust instead of ignite.
And you see that the importance of the Lulu not having teleport, because the Lulu was taking barrier. Lulu couldn't help in that fight. If Lulu had teleport, she might have been able to teleport 1-2 seconds faster than this Orianna. Shen wasn't quite 6, was about 5.5 at the time that play was made. So there was no way of anybody getting down there on the side of face rollers. Bot lane was left alone.
Yeah, and we see at least continuing on the counter jungler route, this time attacking the Raptors and leaving one small Raptor. So definitely wants to just make life extremely hard for the Sejuani, not let her get level 6 anytime soon.
Yeah, this Elise is almost a full level ahead of the Sejuani, so this is becoming a bit of a hell. The Sejuani trying to level up quickly, and this Sejuani needs to hit level 6 before she can become relevant, for her gangs to become amazing. So
yeah, that doesn't look like that will be happening anytime soon, and Elise is again looking towards the bot lane.
Yeah, this Fresh is going to walk straight into it. The cocoon will land. The binding will go slightly wide, but it won't matter because that's already the flash burn. The explosive thing will blow up Fresh, and now Lucian will trade too much because he's going to die from one auto attack. But the Stand United will come in. It will be a 2 versus 3 now. But will they actually try anything? No, it's going to be cancelled. They just wanted the Lucian to stay alive. That's a major cooldown blown. It's down for another. Yeah, it's down for another 2.5 minutes. That means, again, the TP is going to be up in about 30 seconds. So, they're going to only have 1 TP from the Shen to get down if they want to try a Dragon Fight. But that will be the cooling! Sending the Tristana so very low. Tristana having to rocket jump out of there. But that Tristana was on about 50 health there. The Shen trying to trade in the top lane. But you can't do anything against this Darius, who's already so much farther ahead. He has so many pots. Morgana going to look to try to 1v1 the Lucian. She will be able to get down. The ultimate will be the binding that finishes it off. And that's a nice 1 versus 1. The Lucian now 0-2. And he's even further behind than the Sejuani at this point.
Yeah, that was so heartbreaking. He even threw down the Ardent Blaze into the bush to try and check for the Morgana. Unfortunately, it missed her, and she had ult. She even had Ignite, just in case he had Flash or Heal. So yeah, pretty heartbreaking. Lucian almost picking up the kill on Tristana. That would have meant a lot for him.
Yeah.
He is behind. He is somewhat behind when you look at Tristana.
Yeah.
Not,
The
not
Relentless
the-
Pursuit
not-
costing 40 mana at rank 1, didn't have enough mana for it. But that would be the Elise, again stealing this blue buff. It does have major implications on the game, because that means Lulu isn't getting it, that means Sejuani isn't going to be getting the XP. Has hit level 6, so can throw out that ultimate, but is still so far behind in experience, and is about 300 behind in gold.
It's going to
I
be
might be
painful.
getting caught out here in her own jungle, does have to Relentless Assault, I believe it's called, over the wall. The Shen will be trying to 1v1 this Elise. Darius coming
He
round,
can't
but
1v1
this
the
Elise is
Elise.
so strong with the Ruglaive already finished. That will be the burn, almost killing her. The Sejuani does have to throw the ultimate out and actually flash to get away, and that will be the Elise jumping in so very far. Does almost get taken down, but the repel will take her to safety in the actual jungle. That will leave that for a second. The Elise has picked up a second kill. The Elise is now going to try and find this Lulu. Lulu will have to ult herself, and Whimsy herself is just trying to get away. And you see what I mean? There is no damage coming out from anyone on the side of Face Roller simply because this Lucian is behind. For saying that, the Lucian will be trying to cause some damage down this bot lane because this Tristana has been exhausted. She will use the rocket jump and her heal to try and get away. Does still have her flash. That'll be the Lucian dealing quite a bit of damage and a good trade going down for the Face Rollers in the bot lane, even though they did go 0 for 2 in the top side of the map.
Yeah, we can see that Lucian is still pretty strong, even though he is behind because of the 2 early ganks from the Elise.
But still have the BF sword. And it does look like Face Rollers are going to be trying to take out this dragon here, get the first one of the game, but Morgana looks like she's going to have something to say about this. Is moving up from the bot lane. The Darius does have teleport, so does the Orianna. Jen does have Sand United, and the Lulu is in the mid lane, so she can walk down fairly quickly. Does have boots of speed, plus that Whimsy's trying to get up, but it will be the Sejuani sticking it up, picking up the dragon. It will be the Sand United coming down. Lucian will flash back over the wall just to try and kill this Elise. We'll get the shutdown onto him. Morgana ult hits too. We'll get the stun onto just the Sejuani. The Lucian is now running rampant. The Tristana ultimate knocks back free, and then this talk in the pit against the Orianna is going to be a massive shockwave when it comes down. It's not even going to come out yet. We'll hit the fresh. We'll get the second kill of the fight. The Tristana is going to be able to pick up the Sejuani. That is going to be a 1 for 4 in favor of Mindcool in that bot side of the map. They will lose the dragon, but when your Tristana picks up 2 kills, when your Orianna pick up 2 kills, I'm fine with losing the dragon.
That was just like... We're waiting for the Orianna the whole time. Well, when the 3 of them were trapped in that dragon pit, we're like, okay, Orianna is here, the shockwave is going to come out and it's going to be over. She didn't even need to use the shockwave though.
No.
She used it at the end to secure the kill on the fresh. It just shows how far ahead they are. They don't even need a giant shockwave to win fights.
It's a 4.7 thousand gold lead here. It's about to become about a 5,000 gold lead once this ult does go down. And it will be the cooling actually being able to pick up this Tristana. She did have her flash, chose not to use it. Didn't think the cooling would be enough. She's still in that early release phase, Lucian, where everyone thought the culling was awful. Does manage to pick up the kill, but the Lulu looks to be in a bit of trouble here. The command dissonance will go down. Slowing her does use the ultimate. Sejuani is here, trying to pick up a kill. Won't be able to do it. Will land the stun onto the Elise, but Elise will just repel to get rid of the tower aggro, and he's now trying to chase for the kill. Does take another tower shot, decides to back away. Down the bot lane, it's going to be the Lucian and the Fresh trying to take down this turret. Now there's a missing Tristana. Morgana will be able to pick up most of that farm, clearing the way with her tormented Soilo. It will be a tower from Mindcool in that mid lane, however, will be Lucian picking up that tower more than likely in that bot lane. So tower trade overall, after, well technically if you want to count Tristana taking down the turret, there's 2-for-1 turrets in the favour of Mindcool overall in that last 2 minutes of play.
Oh,
And
looks like
the
the Shen
gap's
might
actually-
get caught out actually. You see Mindcool has a complete control of this section of the jungle, and yeah, he is dead.
Then the shockwave moved. Shockwave used just to take him away from the wall, so he couldn't, you know, taunt over it and get away. Just more securing the kill more than anything. But the Elise is going to be counter caught out here because she's going to stay too long, and the rest of the team's of face roll is going to converge on them. The gold lead now is about 6.3k gold, about the same as what it was. So all those 3 minutes of play amounted to about equal gold. Darius is pushing that top lane.
Meanwhile Darius is just pushing the top lane. He doesn't care. He still has his teleport in case an actually important team fight breaks out. But apart from that, he's just going to push that down because he is Darius. He doesn't care what's happening around the map. Lulu looks like she wants to dissuade him from taking her blue again for the 3rd time.
That blue has only been taken twice on the map, I believe, and twice it's been taken by Mindcool instead of face rollers, and it looks like Mindcool are going to try to take it a 3rd time. That's going to be the more Cardinal ultimate, trying to be used on the Shen, but the Shen is going to nicely taunt out of it just before it finishes. It's going to be the flash, Depth Sentence, and it will actually land. Morgana using her Black Shield in time, and she doesn't have her flash, and that will be the Lucian picking up his 4th kill of the game. And I said this Lucian needs to get kills if face rolls have any chance in this game, and luckily he's picked up 100% of the kills so far.
Yeah, and we can see that Lucian now has more total gold than Tristana. It looks like they are purposefully feeding him the kills, but I'm not sure how much that will pay off.
No, when you've got a full AP Runeglaive Elise trying to kill you, when you've got an Orianna trying to kill you, when you've got a Darius trying to kill you, I don't think it matters if you've got an Infinity Edge and a long sword.
To be honest, I understand what you're saying about the Orianna and the Elise, but to be honest, in my experience, Lucian has a really good time against the Darius when he's going that new interesting Youmu's Boar class Whisper build.
Yeah.
Since you have enough cooldown reduction for the
item,
E to just juke everything, and apart from that, you can just kite the hell out of him.
I
understand your point. The Elise is just going to destroy him. Just landing 1 cocoon means that he'll just get bursted down, and
1 cocoon, 1
there's
binding.
nothing you can do about that.
He needs a QSS eventually as well because of the amount of stuns, bindings.
I would actually like to see not a QSS, but an early Crucible from Fresh, since Lucian right now needs to get a lot of damage.
True.
That is the way they're going to win that mid-game phase, by him getting a Static Shiv or a Youmu's and just like becoming extremely strong.
Saying that Lulu will be caught out, it will be the Sejuani trying to engage. And now it's just everyone going back off, but the Shen has gone quite damaged. It seems like the Sejuani ultimate will hit 4, but the Orianna ultimate will hit 3. But it will mean that the fight will ultimately be decided very quickly because the Lucian is doing so much damage. The Shen will fall, the Morgana will fall, the Fresh will come more very quickly. But the Lucian is doing so much damage, but the Tristana will rocket jump in. But who will fall first? Both guys will actually fall at the very same time, and that fight was very close considering how much gold there is in it.
Yeah, it looked like one of those fights, if they were even, that face rollers might have actually won that, since the Sejuani ultimate was great. It was excellent.
Was beautiful.
But the Orianna ult countered that because it was also amazing. A 3-man ult is excellent in such a team fight. And now that you look at it, it's 7 to 15 in kills. All 7 kills are still on the Lucian. He actually has a last Whisper build.
He was able to just pick up straight the last Whisper. He did have the longsword, but he was able to go, yeah, let's combine it as well as by the pickaxe. That was interesting.
And I'm going to be really honest about this. I don't really like the last Whisper pickup so early. I think a Brutalizer at this point does about as much, maybe even more, because last Whisper is 35%
armor penetration.
However, the Brutalizer gives you flat pen, which
yeah.
At this point where absolutely nobody is building any armor items right now, I think just the flat pen is a lot better, or actually working towards the Blade of the Ruin King. I think that is also a decent idea.
I do feel like the Last Whisper will give him more damage as he's trying to build his next item, which I hope is going to be a Youmu's or a Blade of the Ruin King or something similar. But there are better items than the Last Whisper in my opinion, definitely. So yeah, face rollers continuing their trend of 100% kills onto the Solution, definitely trying to get him fed. He does have the most farm on his team, only losing by 3 in the entire game. And that would be a lot of CCs going down to this Sejuani. The Shen will actually taunt up too. And that will be it. Sejuani flash in. The ultimate will hit 2 again. Very nice things. This Orianna ultimate hits nothing in that fight. And now Darius is here alone. But it will be the Shen going down. The Lucian is still on full HP in this fight as last time. That fight will just be receded to being a 1-0. The Black Shield will absolutely negate that death sentence.
Yeah, it looked like Lucian did do too much there. Not too much, but not enough to win that fight, because he's the one who has the most goal on his team. He has 100% of the kills of the team.
Yeah.
He needs to be the one who...
He has the most goals in the game.
Yeah, he has the most goals in the game. He
On the
has to be
losing
one to
side,
carry them in
quite
fights.
impressive. Yeah, that's really impressive.
This is really difficult for them. Like, the fights can get turned really easily because of the Orianna and the Darius just walking in and destroying everybody. Also, the Morgana as well, just like flashing in and ulting everybody could completely destroy them.
It's a really interesting game. These fights are gonna get really hectic in the mid game, trying to gas them, because there's gonna be so much going on. But look at this gold lead. It's expanded to about 7,700 gold. So, despite these fights being quite close, Mindcool is they've still went a further 1,000 gold ahead in the past 4 minutes.
Yeah, actually, looking at Lucian right now, he actually has about 50 less gold than Tristana. And he has all the gold on his team, basically.
Well, that's
really worrying for them.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a pause right now. It looks like the Sejuani might have some internet issues.
The pretty worrying trend for Face Roller.
Yeah, like we said at the very beginning, it's going to be an uphill battle. However, it actually looks somewhat promising. The one good team fight they had, well, not good, but not bad. That would be probably the better word to use.
One team fight where they didn't get completely face rolled.
Yeah, at 8,000 gold difference, a 5v5 team fight where you don't get demolished is actually a sign of something that could work. They did fall behind early by a gigantic amount, because they at least just destroyed the Sejuani, then put some pressure on the bot lane, which set Lucian behind. The top lane was Shen and Darius, which is not something you want to talk about. It's not a wet noodle fight, but Shen will just sit under the turret and farm. He doesn't care all that much. The mid lane, just like nothing happened. Almost nothing happened.
It was
apart
pretty
from
good.
that one